Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is let you know that my camera is not set up properly, but it's the first time doing this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so, oops, sorry. You want to draw a picture, so whatever you want to draw it with pencil first. And we'll start out with something simple. Let's say, let's go with a house. I know you won't be able to see this, so I'm going to draw it really not very lightly, because I want it to show up. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little blending. We're going to get some I'm not really good at the video thing, so we'll just bear with me for a little bit and I'll figure it out. Okay, so we're going to put some trees over here, put some grass here. I'm going to put a path here that kind of bends to the back, like that. And we're going to get a door on there. Okay, so that's, it's a very generic type of a deal. And we'll put some hills in the back there, maybe some more trees up here. Okay, let's try that. All right, so there we are. Basic picture, very generic, very simple. And then we're going to get our brush. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a sky. And what you want to do is, I like to have it at a little bit of an angle. We can't use the paint to do the angle, so let's put it up like that. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, so, and then we need to bring the water down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm getting my brush wet, and I'm dipping into some blue and getting that wet, and dipping into some, that's cerulean blue, and this one is ultramarine blue. And what we want to do here is put some ultramarine blue down on our palette. So get that down there. Rinse off the brush, wipe it off. Cerulean blue. We want some of that on our palette. And these paints are dry, so I kind of got to let them wet up a little bit to activate them. We're going to put that here, so we're going to have those two. One way to activate your paints is spray bottle. Let me just bring this up here. I'm just going to do it off the camera because I don't want to spray down my whole picture. So I just sprayed my paints. That gives them a happy wake up kind of a deal. Okay, so now we got the cerulean blue and the ultramarine blue. We can mix them a little bit, and we can not touch our painting yet because we want to put some water on our paint, our canvas. Now I just want to go where I want the sky. So, and it's pretty wet. I'm using 100% cotton. So we're going to put some blue on it. And I like it a little bit darker, so let's do that. Water there. Okay, well, so we want clouds on here, so we're not going to put our paint on the whole thing. I'll put a little bit of this on there, cerulean blue, and we're just going to touch it in there. We need a little bit more blue coming on. Come on. And just like that. There you go. And you have your blue sky with clouds. And so we want that to dry, and it's pretty wet. So one way to do that is you can sop up some water just like that. So, but we're going to wait for that to dry, and while that's drying, we can work on the house. So I'm going to use some burnt sienna. And we want it kind of thick, but it doesn't have to be kind of thick. So now we're going dry or wet on dry paper. And we're just going to put that like that and bring that down like that. So that's just a flat roof. So we're going to take a little bit of Indian red, I believe it's called. I'm using Daniel Smith colors for this. So a little bit of Indian red. A little bit. Okay. And then we need to add some shading in here. Now we're doing wet on wet. So you got wet paint on wet paint. So now what happens here is I'm giving this roof a little life. So that works pretty nice. Now the house, we're going to be using some French ochre, which is really light. It's a light color. And it's also, I haven't used it for a while, so you have to wet it up. And believe me, you can find way better videos than what I'm doing, but I'm trying. Okay, so now we want to put it below here, but we don't want to touch that roof. Because if I touch this roof, it's going to bleed down into the house. So we just want to get close to it, but not right up next to it. We're not going to worry about those windows at the moment right now. Then we're going to also take this French ochre, wet on dry, and we're going to come right here, and we're going to bring that there. That's our road. Now obviously it's pretty wet, but that's the beauty of watercolor paints. That's why they're called watercolor. So we'll just do it like this. Okay. Alright. So under normal circumstances, you would get this, you would let this dry before you continue on. But we're just going to continue on because I want to. This is fast painting without letting it dry. You should normally let it dry, and then at this time, when you let it dry, you would go in and you would put your green in there for grass. But because I didn't let it dry, I have some trees and some bushes. Now I don't want to touch the house because I don't want it to leak into the house, and I don't want to touch the road. Just like that. Okay, I know this is just really silly, but let's do some more trees. And get some more trees up there. Behind the house. Okay. And the light is great for the video, but everything is reflected for me. Now, when you're in the front of the side of the house here, you can actually touch the house, and you can let those trees, those bushes, or whatever you want to call them, you can let them grow up by the house like that. That is fine. And now we're gonna go with some. Oh, look, what's the name of that? Perylene green. Okay, this is gonna be really dark. We don't want it to be that wet, so we can wipe off some of that. And we're gonna just throw some in there. That's gonna give us some more depth to our first scene. So that way, put some more trees back there. Okay. You can see the roof is getting a little bit drier. Now we want some trees or bushes or grasses leading up to the house. Okay, so we're going to grab some more of that sap green. We're going to put it there, and we're going to mix it in with the Paralyn green. Wipe off some of that color. And then we want to go up to the house. Alright, this is a total beginning, very first video ever. I'm sorry if it's kind of messed up, but I think we got something going on here. Alright, now the next thing you want is, this house looks really flat, where the roof looks like it's alive and good. So now we're going to take some Payne's Gray, and I'm using a number, I don't even know, 6 round. Brush. As long as it comes to a good point, you can do any size brush you want. Alright, but what we want to do is we want to put a shadow underneath here, and I think that's too dark, so let's wipe that off. And we're just going to go in there a little bit. A little bit of shadow in that house. But a little bit more shadow, okay. A little bit of shadow underneath here. Alright, and then in the window, we can do the window. It can be just a shadow. The door can be a shadow. The side. Because this side of the house is in the shadow. And don't forget this road. Ugh! Okay, so that didn't work. There we go, just like that. Okay, and if you don't like it, just take it off. Like that. You got a wet brush, clean wet brush. Wipe that off. Just like that. Put some more shadowing things going on here. And behind the house does not look good. I don't like that. There's something wrong with this. So we'll just pick up this mixed green that was on my palette. And we'll pull it up. And we'll put some pretty trees back there. Just like that. And that would be my first demo. Just so you know, this is a squirrel hair, a real hair, squirrel hair brush. It's a ceramic palette. Keep all the names of my paints. I like using Daniel Smith. I really enjoy using my handmade paints. Never leave your brush like that in the water. That's bad. It's just really not good for your brushes. Always rinse them out with like a figure 8. Like this. I wipe them off a little bit. And I usually lay them flat to dry. There you go. Thank you for watching.